Gen Z is not cooked. I repeat, not cooked. Because why would I even think that they are cooked? Why would I believe such a statement? Why would I castrate my own power? Come on, guys. I actually know you're smarter than this. You heard of Bruce Lee. You've heard of his statement. If you think something is impossible, you have made it impossible. So, if you believe Gen Z is cooked, guess what, my guy? Gen Z is cooked. And you might say, well, what about objective reality? Look at the world. The world is a complete farce. Everything sucks ballsack. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Everything sucks. But you lack a simple foundation and a simple truth. Belief is the matrix. And how does a belief get formed? It gets formed through evidence and a self-validating belief loop. For example, I go out and I play football. I smash everyone. I'm skidding past everyone. I slot it into the top corner in the best environment against the greatest players ever. I will therefore believe with my soul that I can and will become the best. Because that is what the evidence says. Every time now, when I go back to a football pitch, is then going to keep reinforcing that loop. Let's use another example. I claimed politics is all fake and scripted. The boomer comes along and says, no, it's all legit. And instead of listening to my opinion, he then goes on to turn on the news channel. And what does the news tell him? Vote for politics now. This is how we change corruption. This is how the world gets fixed. And because that's where his attention matches, because that's where the evidence is an objective reality, it then keeps reinforcing that loop that in fact politics does change things, even though it doesn't fucking do anything. So, what are you doing? Gen Z is cooked. Alright? Let's look at the evidence. The economy sucks. Psychopaths rule the world. Pedophiles rule the world. Oh, therefore, Gen Z is cooked. Reinforcing my self-validating belief loop. Do you know what I choose to believe? I choose to believe Gen Z is not cooked. Do you know why? Because, do you know what my evidence says? My evidence says that this is not a unique circumstance in all of human history, and any time where this circumstance occurs, where paedophiles rule the world, do you know what happens? A couple years later, 5 to 10 years down the line, a renaissance occurs. So, to me, and my self-validating belief loop, because I choose my beliefs, I believe Gen Z is not cooked. I believe Gen Z is the greatest generation that will ever exist in human history. Now, you might say, that's delusional. Well, delusion doesn't exist in my mind because belief is the matrix. You believe I'm being delusional, but in my mind, because objective reality doesn't matter as much as you think it does, in my mind, I'm not being delusional. In my mind, it's a fact. In Ronaldo's mind, when he says, I am the best, he's not being delusional. It's a fact. He plays on the football pitch. He performs like the best. Therefore, through evidence and a self-validating belief loop, he is the best. You believe I'm delusional, so you keep self-validating your own belief loop. Why would I castrate my own mind? Why would I say Gen Z is cooked? Why would I castrate our whole entire generation? Why would I do it? If you think something is impossible, you have made it impossible. If I think Gen Z is cooked, Gen Z is cooked. If I believe in a Gen Z renaissance will occur. But now, this is the crucial part, okay? When enough people believe in something, that is when that changes objective reality. So, yeah, maybe just me in my own, if I believe a Gen Z renaissance will occur, then in objective reality, there's obviously a chance that it might not occur. But if everybody in YouTube and everybody who thinks Gen Z is cooked, everything's fucked. Probably about 1 million people who watch that kind of content. Let's say 100,000, just in case that was an exaggeration. If 100,000 people throughout the whole entire day convicted and knew and believed with their whole entire soul that a Gen Z renaissance would occur, a Gen Z renaissance would occur. So let me ask you the question. Why have you castrated your own mind? Why have you castrated your own reality? Why do you keep castrating your own reality to keep self-validating your own belief loop? You are no different to the boomer. And this is ultimately what these evil psychopaths want, right? If you look into secret societies, they talk about magic. What is magic? What is the occult? At the highest level, to evil psychopaths, it's about imprinting their own will, desires, and beliefs onto other people, so other people believe certain things and desire certain things, so that then that free will action manifests. So if you believe and desire a certain thing, your free will action will act in accordance with those things. So your free will is being directed by psychopaths. So when you sit here and say Gen Z is cooked, congratulations, you're doing the will of the psychopath. Well done. Is there a difference between believing you've escaped the Matrix and actually escaping the Matrix? Is there a difference between believing you have free will and actually having free will? To people with their own sovereignty, magic is changing their own mind, their own beliefs, their own desires, and their own free will to match their heart of hearts, desires, wills, and beliefs. And what do you desire within your heart of hearts? What do you truly desire if you look within? You desire meaning. You desire purpose. You desire freedom for all of mankind. So, does your head match your heart? Does your beliefs match your heart? Does your desires match your heart? If the answer is no, you are being directed by a psychopath. So what one do you fall under? Are you being controlled? Are you doing the will of the psychopath? Or are you doing the will of your heart, which is the will of God? So, I will reiterate, Gen Z is not cooked. Thank you very much. Gen Z is the greatest civilization in all of human history. And I believe, know, and convict with the whole entire soul of my being that a Gen Z renaissance would occur. Why? Because what is the alternative? Why would I castrate my own goddamn mind?